What's going on, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, follow me on all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, at BoxingWave10. It's official. Canelo Alvarez will be fighting Callum Smith on December 19th on the Zone. Okay, so I know a lot of people have been waiting to see what Canelo is going to do. This will be his first fight back in a little bit over a year. The last fight he had was with Sergey Kovalev sometime during the fall, early winter last year. And the last fight before that was Daniel Jacobs earlier that year. All right. So all year, Canelo hasn't fought like many fighters because of the pandemic, but he had issues with his promoter. He had a lawsuit. I think everything is cleared up, but we were all speculating and waiting to see what Canelo was going to do moving forward from here. Okay. I guess his business with Golden Boy is settled and they're done. And he is still fighting on the Zone. I don't know what that means. I don't know if he's just fighting with them now. I don't know if this is going to be on a case, like a fight by fight basis. I said that Canelo's a big enough star to promote himself. Like, people are always going to want to fight him. Even if you don't work out a fight, like they were trying to work out something with Caleb Plant. He said on his Instagram that, they just couldn't come with an agreement. All right. Whatever that means, we don't know why. We don't know any details. We don't know what it was about, but they didn't come to an agreement. We know that Caleb Plant fights with the PBC. All right. It didn't work out and we didn't get the fight. But he's going to be fighting Smith on the Zone in December. Now, Callum Smith, good fighter, undefeated, fresh, young, champion. Okay, he holds a title at 168. He was able to win the World Boxing Super Series, which is great. You have other champions there. Benavidez, he was stripped of his title because in his last fight, he came in overweight. So he's currently not the WBC champion. You have Caleb Plant, who is a champion, who, as I was just speaking about him, who has a title, but he's not going to be fighting Canelo next. He's also a PBC guy. And then you have Billy Joe Saunders, who is with Matchroom, who fights on the Zone, but he's just not getting this fight for now. All right, so Callum Smith is a good fighter. And this is my opinion. And this is it's no kind of slander at all. But he was my least desired opponent for Canelo. Okay? That's just my opinion. That's no hating. It's just out of the options that's there as far as the champions or the top fighters, out of those four fighters, Smith, Benavidez, Saunders, and Plant, the least desired was Smith. And it's just because of the styles. And I'm judging this based on what I've seen previous to the John Ryder fight. But even with that fight, he was kind of exposed in that fight. No, I do not think Callum Smith won the fight. All right? It was close. It was competitive. But I don't think Callum Smith won the fight. And I know how it works. You're the star. You're the upcoming guy. You're undefeated. A lot of fighters get gifts. Okay? A lot of fighters have tough fights. And they'll give them a gift draw or whatever. A gift win. I believe Canelo has gift wins. But Callum Smith did not win the fight, to me. And I think he was exposed because John Ryder, a much shorter fighter, he basically showed us how to get inside and do work against Callum Smith. I don't believe Callum Smith, as good of a fighter he is. He's a good fighter. He's a tough fighter. He's very big. He has a very huge reach advantage over Canelo. Okay, he's powerful. He has he has quick hands. He has a very quick, short left hook. Normally, he has good timing on it, but when he fought John Ryder, Ryder exposed him. Closed the distance on him, backed him, and bullied him against the ropes at times. Much smaller fighter. Okay, and he did the better work on the inside, much better. It wasn't even debatable. And Callum Smith didn't show me that he can really fight going backwards. He didn't know how to maintain a distance. You're the taller, longer guy. He didn't know how to do it. He didn't really know how to work from the outside. And when he did work from the outside, John Ryder displayed great defense. Very underrated as a defender. John Ryder was able to have the high guard and slip those shots and counter and work on the inside. You know, and I think it showed how limited Callum Smith could be. He has some good tools, but he's still very limited as a fighter. And I think that's part of the reason why I really didn't desire to see this fight. I don't have an issue with the fight at all. It's a fair fight. It's better than Yildirim, the fight that we were going to get, because he is the mandatory for the WBC. That would have been an awful fight. It would have been a very easy fight. Canelo probably his easiest, since Rocky Fielding, which was a very easy fight. But yeah, man, this is not a mismatch. It's just that Canelo is in a different class. You know, I know Callum Smith is younger, he's fresher, he's not. I think a lot of people are like complaining about the timing of when Canelo, and unwork the deal to make this fight happen. Listen, if you're a champion in this sport, you honestly need to be responsible and you need to stay ready and stay fit, especially if you're trying to get a Canelo fight. Canelo has been working. So Callum Smith should have been working on time, and I think he has. He should be ready for the fight. I don't think timing is really an issue here. But yeah, this is the fight we're getting. And I really don't think Callum has much of a chance in being Canelo. I think Canelo's going to do, and I said this in my video, I said, Canelo is John Ryder 2.0, and I don't mean by like he fights exactly the same way. I'm just saying he can do everything that John Ryder can do, but do it better. And he has much more tools. This fight, I think Canelo's gonna dog him. I don't know if Canelo's gonna stop him, because I think Callum Smith, I don't know how tough he is. It really depends on how durable he is. But I think regardless, Canelo is going to win, and I think it's going to be unanimous, and I think it's going to be wide scorecard. Callum is good, but, at least with the other fighters, like, take a look at Benavidez, which him and Callum would be a great fight. Benavidez don't have good defense. He doesn't. He doesn't have good defense, but dude has quick hands, quick combos, can counter much better than Callum Smith could. All right. And he can bang. He can trade. He can trade. Now, like, again, he doesn't have the greatest defense, but he's a fun fighter to watch. So is Callum, but I think he would be a little bit tougher for Canelo. And then you got Saunders and Plant, who are both, I believe Plant is a southpaw. I think he is too. But they're both really, really good defensive, slick fighters with fast hands. They're both really good at that. They both move extremely well. The one thing I question when it comes to those two is stamina in the later rounds. Like, I think that both of them can give Canelo some issues early on. I question how long they can keep that going, though. Especially Canelo doesn't box with them. He says, I'm going to just walk you down and outwork you. Attack the body. Canelo he's one of the best, if not the best. He is one of the top fighters that can adjust in this sport. He's much better than what he was when he fought Floyd Mayweather. And I think there's levels to this. And, I know Callum might be a little taller than Kovalev was, might be fresher. He's not coming off of a battle with Anthony Yard or anything like that. But Kovalev has more talent than Callum Smith. You get what I'm saying? And they're both tall. They're both longer than Canelo. But I think Kovalev actually had much more skills. He's much more craftier. His boxing IQ is on a different level than Callum Smith to me. Now who would win in that fight at this point? Callum might beat him too. I don't know. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying here. I'm talking about as far as the boxing ability and comparing the two. I just think Callum is just not on that level. He's not on that level, and it's going to show. But again, it's not a bad fight. It's Canelo's first fight back. He's fighting a title fight against a guy that's undefeated, and he holds a title. It's a legit fight. It's just not really what I prefer personally. You know, you guys may disagree with that, and that's fair. That's what we're here for. All right. I wanted Plant more. I wanted Saunders more. I wanted Benavidez more. That's just me. That's just me. All right, but the fight is going down, and in a month. So, you know, we will be checking it out. Hopefully, I'm available to do commentary on it. But I'm not giving Callum Smith that much of a shot. He does have a puncher's chance, of course. But after watching a Ryder fight, and listen, everybody have rough nights, but that was no mistake. What I saw in there, I saw Callum Smith how I normally would see him because I thought he had flaws going into that fight. I just thought that those flaws, those same flaws that I always saw there, Ryder was able to expose them. You know? All right? So anyway, that's what I think about. Those are my initial views on this fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And we'll talk more about this in the future. All right? Peace.